Am I live? Hey, I'm live. Awesome! YouTube live, first ever stream. Thanks for joining me. I'm going to be doing some programming. I've got myself a pizza that's just arrived from Uber Eats. I've got my organic kombucha right here. And yeah, let's get into it. But first, I need to see if this is even working. So give me a second because I hit go live and I don't even know how this stuff works. So bear with me for a second. Okay. Stream chat. Okay. I guess we're live. Cool. So there will be like a chat box or something. So I'll be able to chat with you guys. Camera setup. Alright, cool. Introduction. So I am building an analyzer that takes random data and then tries to visualize it. So the point of this is if you have a random number generator, you want to be able to test the quality of that randomness. This is a big problem because a lot of the times actually all random number generators are not truly random. They basically it's basically a computer program that runs something that outputs numbers that appear random for a certain set that you generated, but are actually made by a machine. And the machines cannot generate something that's truly random. So there has to be a source of chaotic data which makes it properly random. And that's very difficult to create. So what this is to say, okay, so whatever source of randomness you're getting, like visually, how does it actually add up? How is it actually, how random is it actually? I hope that, does it make sense? What's going on with YouTube? Please use a keyframe frequency of 4 seconds or less. Currently, keyframes are not being sent often enough. Okay, I don't know what that is. Whatever. Let's see. Hopefully, it will fix itself. Okay. Anyway, so yeah, that's kind of like the idea there. I can give you an example of what I'm talking about. That might help you. So, true random visualization. Okay, so you see here on the right hand side. Let me just move because my camera's otherwise blocking. Okay, so this is like static, and this is pretty much like properly random, right? Because there's no discernible pattern from this. As soon as you go down here, you can see that this is not really random. There's some kind of quality of this thing that has some kind of pattern to it. Similarly here, and the person's actually drawn these red lines in here, where you can see there's a bit of prediction going on there that you can actually quickly see as the result. So yeah, so actually it seems like this dude has built something that I'm trying to achieve. What is this? Okay, well, that's good for him, but my aim is to build this myself, to gain skills in like programming and all that kind of stuff. So that's my objective here. Alright, so how I'm doing this? I'm doing this on a thing called Google Cloud. So this is a Google Cloud platform, and it's kind of like an AWS type thing where you've got like all these awesome apps and stuff that you can create and you can host, and it's pretty much for free. And yeah, so what I'm doing is I've got an app which basically serves this website, and then you can interact with it, and it it's hosted on Google for free because it's not a very big app, so they incentivize people for free. So let's give it a demo. So let's say I have these numbers like that. You put it into this text box, and then it creates a visualization. So these visualizations is like a library called Plotly, and it's designed for data science and data analytics and stuff, and you can basically visualize any kind of information you want. So if we try to go a bit more random, let's see what that looks like. Okay, so here you're starting to see like, okay, that's obviously more random than what it was. So that's the idea. You're putting a random here and you stick it in. So let's go random generator. Random generator. And here you can go. Hold on. Let's go. Yeah. Right. So we want 100 random numbers. And there's your 100 random numbers. So we can take that, stick it into our visualizer, and go. And there you go. So you can actually see this randomness over here. And you can have a visual look at it, because ultimately, like, how do you test how random your stuff is? There's like, it's a little bit subjective. You know, it's like a human kind of thing to analyze it. So one way to just check is to look at it and be like, okay, well, I can see a pattern here, so that's obviously not so random. Okay, so that's the idea. How I am building this app. Okay, that's the interesting part. That's the technical side. So I'm using Google App Engine. And what happens is you go in here, and then there's this thing called a cloud shell. So that's like a terminal. Basically, what this thing is like a little computer that Google hosts on their platform, and it's Linux based, and you can do stuff in here. You can type things, and then it's basically a computer. It's like MS DOS, yeah, DOS. Like basically you type stuff in, and then like you work your computer with text. You don't work with it as a mouse and a window. So okay, so there's another way of looking at it here. I think you put it like this. Open terminal. What's the new window? So the nice thing about this is you don't have to download stuff. It's all 100% in the cloud. So literally, you just have Chrome, and boom, you can do all your programming and everything in Chrome itself. So this is your terminal, and then you've got this where you can actually like edit the code in a more friendly way. And all this is doing is this is a viewer of what's on the computer, and it's got the text here. You can edit and do all this stuff. Okay, so let me introduce you to how I'm doing this. So this is a folder. This is my project over here, and then I've got the back end of what generates that website. So how I'm running it is I'm building the back end in Python, and then I'm using an app called Flask. What Flask does is it basically takes your Python and it pushes it to like an HTML template, and then you host that HTML template as a web page, and you can basically interact with that web page on the back end in Python and the front end in JavaScript, HTML, and CSS. So it's like a cool way of building an app in Python. So I thought that was quite cool. So this is how it works here. You basically say that you're running in Python. I think I'm actually 3.8, but it doesn't matter. Python 3. Whatever. And then my main app is this one over here. So this is the meat of like how my app works. It's basically this Python code over here. So you import a bunch of stuff. You have your little functions over here, and then this is your main function. So how I'm going to explain this to you guys is pretty much as an amateur. Like I studied Java at high school 10 years ago, but everything else I just learned myself. So I don't know the technical terms. I don't know how or exactly what this stuff does. All I just know is like you hack it together, and then if it works, it works. If it doesn't, it doesn't. Now the thing about the stream is that hopefully by me recording this live, it can like incentivize me to put in the effort and try and like work hard and actually do this thing in front of an audience or whatever. It's like kind of this new concept of like live coding instead of like live gaming. People actually like coding live and all that kind of stuff. What is this whole YouTube live works? It's giving me all these errors. Keyframe frequency, current keyframe is this. Note that ingestion errors can cause incorrect. Honestly, whatever. Okay. Is it not OBS? Is it not OBS? Settings. Stream. No. Okay, whatever. Back to code. Okay, so how Flask works is you create your app and then it goes here, index and Flask, see Flask over here, and then you get the stuff from the web page, and then you run your apps in here, like create bar graph, create scatter plots. So create the bar graph is this function up here. That's creating the first bar graph at the top. And then create scatter plots is this one over here, which is this function. And this function creates the scatter plot down here at the bottom. So it's as simple as that. In the bar graph, what I'm doing is I'm reading in the random, the text, whatever somebody types in there. I'm basically putting that into a pandas data frame. That's what it's called, data frame. And then I'm putting that data frame into Plotly, and Plotly like creates that bar graph. And then I take that, I make it into JSON, okay, which is the code that these things it's like the data, and then that data I send to the front end. Okay, so how the front end works is you have these templates, and this is the HTML. This is how websites are made up of this HTML. So if you look at this is like the template with which the website is actually created. So this is the same as if you go to any website and then you inspect that website. You can do this in Chrome or Fire, whatever, Firefox. And this is the same as what you'll see here. Doc type, HTML, header, body, footer, whatever. These are the different sections of the actual website. So that's what this is. Header, HTML, body, whatever. So my back-end system here is creating this front-end website, this HTML here. So the base is like the base of the HTML, and then you've got these template blocks. And these template blocks is how Flask basically works. So whatever's in a curly bracket with percentages next to it, that you can basically stick Flask like sticks in other HTML that or information or whatever you want. So that's the next section over here. This index HTML. This block of graphs is what gets stuck into the base HTML template over here, basically at this point over here, which is all of this, all of the actual graphs, this section of the website. So yeah, that's it. Obviously, you got your styling, which is very basic because it's a basic site, and JavaScript is nothing. Yeah, so it's all run in the back end in Python. There's no front end like coding basically. All right, so objective for today. This is my thing to see like what I want to do. So objective for today is to not only take numbers and analyze the randomness, but to take characters, words, and strings, and to analyze the randomness of those things as well. So at the moment, if you don't have text, if you don't have numbers in here, you go A, B, C, whatever text or strings you have here, it's going to say nothing. It's going to be like 0. Okay. So why I want this is because I effectively want to throw whatever you want in here, whatever you want to analyze. It's not just numbers. You throw it in here, and then it will just give you some kind of visual representation of whatever it is you want to represent. So one practical reason for this is, let's say you have a list of email addresses, and you want to randomize between the companies that you're emailing. So let's say you've got 100 companies you want to email, and you've got a CRM system with all these contacts, but you want to make sure you're sending to 10% today, 10% next week, 10% the following week, and run an A/B test to determine like how good your first email and your second email is in like cohort analysis. But the way to do that properly is you need to take a random subset of 10% and send it to the first week. Otherwise, maybe what will happen is your first 10% you're sending week 1 all goes to one company, and that company is like in a specific country, and they don't like your email. You're going to think this email sucks and that email doesn't. So what you want to do is take a random subset. So basic point here is you can throw in email addresses here, and we'll see like, okay, there's a bunch from this company, a bunch from that company. We'll actually show you how random the data is. Okay, so that's objective for today. So that's going to be this one over here. So let's make that green. That's what we're going to be working on today. Cool. So how to do that? I was thinking about this quite a bit, and I can draw you a picture of what my thinking is. So what my thinking is like, give me 1 second. I want to have some pizza before it gets cold. I'm hungry as well. This is going to be messy because I'm going to be eating with my fingers. Maybe probably not before. Hold on a second. All right. So what I'm thinking is like, what I can do is like, whatever the first character is, let's do random characters. So let's say Z, A, D, F, M, C, J, right? Whatever they are, basically, right, this is not really random, because actually what happens in reality is that a lot of these things are like loops. So you'll have like Z, you'll have like Z again, and then A again, and then Z again, and then F, whatever. It's like the same things like show up, right? So that's how you determine if it's random. Like if they're all unique, then that's also probably not really random. Depends if it's unique, random, or like repeating random. So how I'm thinking about doing this is you go like, you just assign numbers. So whatever the first unique random character is, it's 1. Next one is 2, and then it's a repeat of that one. So that's 1 again, and then this one is the third unique character that happens. So that's a 3. Then that one becomes a 2 again. This is the 4th unique one, but then this is the first one again. It's the 5th unique one, but that's the 3rd one again. So basically your numbers are going to be like this. So that's going to be how it analyzes how random your stuff actually is. 3, like that. Okay, so that's my idea. The only issue with this that I was thinking about, that I have a problem with, is that inherently what's going to happen if you start from 1 and you like go up, is that basically your graph is always going to have like this like thing like where it's increasing, because obviously every time you add another unique data point, it's going to be increased. So there's always this trend upwards, which is not like a good sign of something that's very random. So I'll think about that. Maybe what I'll do is if I can just count like the total set, and then what I do is generate a random number and assign that number randomly to the first one. So the first one is not actually 1, it's the first one, it's the first showing, which is, if there's 5 in total, this will be like 3. And then this one, it's like randomly out of 5, this one will be 1. And then this one will be obviously 3 again. But this one is just random, so that would be 5. So maybe just to re-randomize it somehow, but then you're using a random generator to visualize something that should be random in the first place. So that's kind of making it confusing as well. But anyway, step for today is just to be able to read in the text and assign it values, numbers. Okay, so that's the idea there. So how to do this? We need to create a piece of code that basically looks at whether something's unique and then gives it a number. So it's some kind of like for loop that runs over the range of the data and then gives it a number. So this is the text that comes in from the website. All right. If it's blank, it's supposed to give it a random 10 numbers. Currently, there's a check in here that tells you that it's blank, so it doesn't need to do that. But it's just, I think when it initializes, we give it 10 random numbers. And then the next thing is it sticks that into a data frame. So we need to put our stuff in here. Read the text area, convert everything to float 64, ignore excess columns. Okay, so we probably need to okay, so see this app logger? This basically tells you what's happening at what point in the code to let you know like what the code is seeing basically. So it's like telling you a story. So what I need to do is, in my computer version of this thing, I need to run it so I can see what code is coming out of it, and then go from there. But before I do that, I need to see if this Git repository is up to date. Okay, I need to go into the right location. So you go directory, and you need to change directory to quality of random. Now I'm in the right folder. Now I can go git status. Okay, on branch master, your branch is up to date. Okay, cool. For those of you who want to see the Git, it is basically everything's just at janswales.com. Go to janswales.com and you go to Git, GitHub, repository, quality of random. There it is. You guys can like help me build this thing. So that's the story there. Cool. Okay, so now Git's good. Now we need to run it. So you run it by going Python main dot UI. That's how you do it. No, that's not how you do it, because this flipping thing is working off Python 2. Python 2. Oh, I need to install all the dependencies. This stuff is so flipping confusing. Okay, so see here it's saying that I need pandas. Pandas is probably not installed here properly, so probably install a bunch of stuff. Maybe it's Python 3. We have to go Python 3 and then do it. Maybe that will fix it. No Plotly either. Okay, so I need to install dependencies. Requirements. Isn't this thing? See, this thing like has all the stuff, so you're supposed to be able to store requirements. Okay, so this is the trick of coding. What you do is, the better you get at coding, the less time you have to spend googling something versus actually typing the stuff out. Make sure I've got audio. Hope you guys can hear me. Testing audio. Okay, I hope the audio is working. Yeah, that would be pretty lame if you guys couldn't hear me. Do a whole live stream with unmute. Pip install, blah blah. So I think this is what I need to do. Alright. Pip install requirements txt. Boom. That looks like it'll work. Boom. Install that. Go. Flask is being installed. Boom. What's next? Flask 1.1.2. Done. Is that everything? Flask, NumPy, Plotly, boom, boom, boom. Everything's been installed. Now, try and run the program again. Python 3 main.py. You guys see, maybe the stuff's too small, eh? Zoom in a bit. Looks a bit better. Okay. No, something's not right here. Plotly, Flask. That's already there. Collecting pandas. Pandas already there. No, downloading. Okay, so it's done. Okay, what am I missing? Plotly. Requirement already says Plotly in home, blah blah blah. Oh, 2.7. See, the problem is this Cloud Shell has 2.7 installed. And it's even telling me that 2.7 has been depreciated. So Google, if you're listening to this, please flipping update the Cloud Shell so that it's Python 3 already, for flip's sakes. And then what I did is there was this cool app that I downloaded called PyInf or whatever. And that's, see, cool. So this thing like manages your Python versions, and it can actually save it in the Cloud Shell, because the Cloud Shell is just a remote computer. There's some stuff you can save, I think 5 gigabytes for free, but then everything else gets like reset. So all the settings you do and all the like the whatever you've installed, like it's rewritten every time it starts up, and you only have that one folder that keeps your stuff in check. But this PyEnv like allows you to keep it going. So I want to see maybe this PyEnv version, show the current version. Okay, so PyEnv version. This thing shows me where I am. Display the version. Show the current Python versions and its origin. And its origin. Origin. Just give me the version name. PyEnv version name. What? What does that mean? Versions. Flip it. Okay. I am so confused. I'm so confused. I don't know what's going on here. I think what you can do is this, and then you go main.py. Oh, someone's watching me. Hey man, try to improve your voice quality. Oh, voice quality? Oh, sorry. Maybe my speakers. Okay. Is that a bit better? Can you hear me now better? Aditya? Okay. Alright, so 3.8 is not on here. Aditya, can you help me? Can you please tell me what I need to do to get this app to launch in Python 3? Maybe it's my README. I created a README here. Yeah, README. Okay, so okay, this README is not very helpful. Okay, I don't know what I'm doing. Okay, I think I need to use this PyEnv. So here's the PyEnv. Global. Okay, global. PyEnv global. PyEnv global. System. I keep saying system. Maybe I need it initiate. So PyEnv init. Go. Alright. Load PyEnv automatically by pinning the following to bash. Okay, maybe now PyEnv is working. PyEnv version. No. Still don't know what's button. How to fix this? Okay, let me figure this out based on how I figured it out last time. I said cloud shell Python 3, and then I found this website that told me about PyEnv. So okay, PyEnv. Yeah, this one. Okay, here we go. So this dude like did some crazy stuff, and then this dude was like, no, don't do that. Rather use PyEnv. And then you go, you install PyEnv. Did you put the details in there, and then you install. Okay, so maybe I need to reinstall. PyEnv install. Let's go. Oh, wait a minute, hold on. I think I just figured out what's wrong. This is 8.5 main.py. See, because I didn't study this stuff, I'm actually just figuring everything out at the same time. I'm really just hacking my way around the world at this point. So let's install. Okay, install 3.8.5. Go. Install. Stack Overflow, help. Pin 3 lines to read me. Bash rate. These are the 3 lines. So you need to install put these lines into the thing first. Okay, so it's installed. Now I need to put this stuff. Okay, so let's do this. This installs it. But first, sorry, let me go back. I don't want to install it in this folder. I want to install it in the home area. So this is home. I guess. I don't really know what the fuck I'm doing. Sorry. I'm about to swear. Hey. Ooh, sorry. I don't know what I'm doing. That's what I wanted to say. Okay. Go. Now it's going to install something, hopefully. JK was, it's me, default, time, no such command, install. Cool. Try again. No. Wow, what's going on? Oh, God. I don't know what I'm doing. Let's just do that again. So, this is my command. Go. Oh my goodness. What if I exit this? Let's see where we are with Python. So this is Python 2.7.16. And I want to help. I'm pretty sure last time I installed Python 3.5, 3.8.5. No, maybe I didn't. What about Python 3? Ooh. There you go, what's this? Python 3.7.3 default. Hey, there you go. Ah, this thing's installed. Then why is it not working? You guys spent 4 hours last weekend trying to figure this stuff out just because I didn't know to type Python 3 before I ran the flipping thing. Oh my word. You know, it's like, that's why if you study academics, things academically, you kind of like, at least you cover the basics. And when you're just trying to figure stuff out, it takes so long to get your head around stuff, but it forces you to realize that how these machines actually work. Like initially, I had no idea what this stuff was. I don't know what a cloud shell was. I don't know what I don't know if this is the actual app, but then I realized that the cloud shell is just a computer and you have to upload your data to the app in order to actually make it run. It's not running off your shell. The shell is just like Linux. Like when I started, I didn't know this thing was Linux. I thought it was Windows. So confusing. So you have to figure this stuff out the hard way because I'm not learning in like an academic way. So okay, now let's go back to our folder. Our folder is, I guess, in home. doing home. Yep. Wait, I can actually just go like this. Let's go open. Or it's like a shortcut way of doing this. Open. Yeah, this is like old school Linux. You gotta do this stuff. You have to be a keyboard warrior if you want to be a Linux professional. Okay, so go in there. Now we are now we're in here. Now we go to our working folder. Okay. Good. Now let's see. Everyone pray for me that this thing works. So that's been another 3 hours trying to figure out how to have your updated Python stay on your Cloud Shell after you've restarted your engine, because it like basically I thought Python 2 was the only thing on Cloud Shell, but now I realize if you put a little 3 here. Nope. Okay. Pip install pip Python main.py import plotly. No module name plotly. Maybe it's because pip is working off Python 2 and I'm running off Python 3. So somehow I need to install pip on Python 3. Yeah, that's probably what the problem is here. Okay, but there's a different way of doing this. Anyone can help me? Hello, help me figure out how do I run this thing, because I installed this pyinf, and pyinf is supposed to allow me to run Python on my Cloud Shell. Now it's obviously not working because, or it didn't say from last time, because I had this stuff here, and now I had Python 3.8.5, and now it's gone. So now I don't know what to do about that. You know what this could also be? It could also be that I'm running, like in frustration last weekend, I just recreated this whole thing from scratch, like a new dashboard. So maybe like a new app. So maybe I can try running it there and see that. Maybe that's how I fixed it last time. But I'm sure you can. Let me reinstall this thing. Curl. Okay, install pyinf to install Python on persistent. So that's the word persistent. I need Python to be persistent. See this one. Yeah, this one's installed 3.8.5. Okay, so maybe I'm using the wrong version. There's my quality of random. And here's the readme that's got the instructions. No, this one maybe. No. Okay. Whatever. There. It's all so confusing. But I think here, let me. If it works on here, then it works, and we can keep going. See, the problem is I messed up this thing because I installed like Python 3 using this dude's like way of doing it, which you have to mess up the settings and stuff. So I think all the settings are messed up. So now I was just like I had to redo it from scratch basically on a new thing here. So let's go quality of random, and then now we go Python main.py. I think this Python 3 main. Sorry guys, I've got a new keyboard, so my typing has really become quite shoddy. It's running, it's running. Yes. Woo! It's working. Okay, cool. So this is the version. This is the version that is live. It's live, and this version is running off here. And now all of the stuff that you see in here that is logged can show in your terminal. So when I'm creating a bar graph and I go app.logger creating bar graph, then it says here app whatever, something like it tells you what's going on. Text area form got some data. Creating bar graph with, see, creating bar graph with whatever that text was. So that's the text that came in there. Now you can see what you're doing as you're programming. That's the beauty of login stuff. Okay, first, my eyes are burning, so let's just change this thing. Give me a second. Cool. All right, next step. I'll be back now. I'm just going to eat some pizza. All right. Now we want to see, once I'm using string IO, which is a Python 3 thing only. That's why I cannot work in Python 2. I have to work in Python 3 because of this thing. What is it reading? Okay, what does it look like? So after it goes to string IO, it looks like this. All right. Test. What happens if we put in characters? This is the right one. Yeah, characters. Okay. What does that look like? So string IO got this, data frame got nothing. And the reason for that is that so up till here, it's reading in the text, and the data frame is reading a CSV that is this, and saying it's obviously it's reading the CSV and saying no, this stuff is not see error. So just basically just ignore it if it's an error. If it's not a float or whatever. So this is where we're going to we're going to convert the text into numbers. All right, good. Now proper coding time. Let's do this. So text into numbers. Once again, reminder. Where's my paint? This is what we're doing. So we have to do this, but in Python. Okay, Python. So go length. First step, we need to know. We need to unique. So it has to be unique. So we need to go. One step at a time. Okay, one step at a time. If what is random text data? Is this just a bunch of text? So what we need to do is we need to create an array, or in Python it's called a list. We need to create a list separated by tag that separates out all the individual sections. Okay, so I think how you do that is you go okay, let's make a new thing here, random text data list. Okay, it's equal to entry for entry And you split. Okay, first step, split string into list. Google, power of Google. Tell me how to do this. Split. Split. String.split. String.split, and you make the separator what needs to be the separator. Okay. String.split. String.split. The string is random text data dot split based on tab. Okay, can't see that, but that's actually this is actually a tab. Okay. No. Tab. Alright, so in order to see if that actually did what we wanted it to do, we're gonna now spit that out on an app logger, and we're gonna say split list is this new variable we've created here. Boom. Save and let's go. Run it. Python 3 main.py. Go. Yeah. Is it going? Submit. Okay. There's an error. io.string.io object has no attribute split. Oh, because this is a string io object. It's not a. I don't even know what a string io object is, actually, to be honest. I think it's got something to do with like it converts everything into bytecode, and then the bytecode is what it does stuff. I don't know why I did that. I think I did that so that I could read the CSV. I've really got to comment better here. I don't know what I'm doing. Okay, so what I actually need to do is take the random text and split that. Alright, let's try again. We're just showing the error. This is saying, because this is a list, it's not going to print it out, so I need to make it print like this. Try again. Run that. Open that up again. Reload. Alright, submit. What's it going to do? That's the scatter plot. Here's the bar graph. Bar graph. Where's bar graph? Where are you? What's going on here? Pandas. Data frame to numeric. Data frame read. Data frame to numeric. So it's up. Data frame reads. Oh, ooh, here we go. Split list is split. That's where I said this. Yeah, split list is this. Oh, wow, it's printing out. Ooh, crazy thing here. Arguments. What is that? ACGN. ACGNIG. Okay, so that's that. This is probably like regx or something. Oh, tab. Oh, this is tab, tab, tab. Oh, I need to do that. That's cool. Okay. Alright, so the comma obviously puts another new line down here. Now, okay, so that's read this in. As split. Is it split though? It's not split. It's just not. So let's do this. First we do this random text. Split it. And then the way we know, the way we can test that it's split is we can go for a letter in this list. We're going to print, we're going to applog each word, each entry. Let's replace this as entry. So each entry is print the entry. Okay, let's try that. Go. It's running. Let's run it up here. Submit that. And what does it tell us? It is telling us that each entry so it's not splitting it. So maybe we need to do that. Let's save. But now maybe it's split. No, no splitting. Let's do this. Let's print this random text. Let's print length of this thing. List length. This length is going to be this thing. Python length. Where are we? How do you do this? Length. Like so. Boom. Alrighty. What's going on here? Is this thing not like saving properly or something? What is going on here? Login error, maybe? Oh. Oh, it's an error. Oh. That's weird. It still runs even though there's an error. Okay, so the error is that app login info each entry. That is not an error. It's an error. Call stack. 928. The error is on line 28. What is this saying here? White space. Really? Is that the error? That's the error. That can't be an error. Okay, so the problem is it's still saying list length is 1. List length is 1, so it's not splitting it. It's not splitting it because this is probably not a tab. Okay. Try again. Here's a, ooh, there we go. G. I. N. There you go. Now it's splitting it, but it's given an error each time. It's saying logging error. Logging error. Logging error. Traceback, most recent call. What is the error? Not all arguments converted during string formatting. Not all arguments converted during string formatting. Namely, we need to go make this a string. That will help stop these errors. Maybe I need to do the same thing here. String. Okay. These errors are making it difficult to read what's actually happening in the log here. Okay. Run this again. But see, every time it doesn't, every time it crashes, it basically you have to run it again. It's ridiculous. Actually, let's just stick those letters back in here. How it was. Create some more random ones. There you go. Okay. Submit. Let's go. CGNTOB. CGNTOB. Cool. Still errors. Errors, flipping errors. It's ridiculous. So many errors. Can we just do this? We go A, B, C, A, B, C, D. so we know where we are. Okay, now we can track the errors. Alright, A, B, C, D. So if we go to the first time we do this, we can find A, and we can see here's A, and we've really got issues with the way logger. So here's the first thing, list length. Arguments converted to string during formatting. Actually, it's logging an error. It's logging an error every time we are calling this logger. So there's something that we're doing with this logger that's not correct. Something is not correct. App.logger.info. We need to figure out what's going on there first, just to clear some of these ridiculous amounts of errors. Okay, let's figure this out. Solution, you're mixing different format functions. The old style listing formatting uses codes. It will cost. New style formatting uses this. Okay. Is this even Python? Oh my god. Why is this so confusing? Why? Dot format. However, this thing was a tuple. It's the string format method. But maybe if I just creating bar graph, does this part work? Creating bar graph. Some errors, I don't even know where to start. Okay, it must be here. A, B, C, D, right? Okay. Bar graph, A, B, C, D. String I have got A, B, C, D. Login error. Not all arguments converted during string formatting. And that issue is this here. Not all arguments. So clearly, creating bar graph, is that where it started? No. So the way I did this is correct. The way I did this is not correct. So I guess I need to make everything string. Stringy spaghetti. Hey. See, I'm going to show you guys my keyboard so you can understand why I do things like that. See this little beauty over here? So every time you want to move up and down, you have to use shift and like use your arrow keys. So sometimes I type weird stuff, just I'm still getting used to it. So that's why I do that. Alright. Okay. Alright. Let's take these things. In fact, I don't even know why I put commas in there. That's like a JavaScript thing. That's probably where I got that from. So apologies. Okay. Let's try again. Boom, 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 boom. Submit. There we go. There we go. Ooh, errors are gone. Oh yeah, errors are gone. There's entry A, B, C, D. So it's reading each entry in a for loop going A, B, C, D. So that's successfully split it up. The length is 4. 4 items in the list. Right? Good. Okay, 4 items in the list. Next step. Next step is 4 items in the list. If, okay, first item, so now you create a for loop. So first item, if first item is unique, then create a new list, and that list is 1, something like that. Okay, so alright, so yeah, my brain for some thinking. A sip of kombucha to help with cognitive function. Okay, alright, let's think about this. Okay, for loop. So for word, for, we can just do this again, for entry in here. Okay. Each entry. So now I say entry if entry is unique. How do we know that? Python. Check if entry is unique in there we go. Is unique in list. Check in all elements in the list are unique. It's not quite what I want, but maybe we'll figure it out. If length of x is greater than length of the set x, so set maybe makes it a it's not what I'm going to do on a test. Check if string is unique. Check. No, it's not unique. What you want to do is you want to go. Oh, no. What you do? Okay, what you do is you want to get out all the unique values first. Then assign a number to each of those unique values. And then you check if that unique word is equal to what's the first word in the list, and then you replace it with that number. And you do that for all of them. So you first have to condense your list into only unique values. So how do you go Python list to dictionary? Because a dictionary is a unique set of it's basically a list, but it's just like got unique sets in it. So how to do this? Convert zip. First create and iterate and initialize the variable it. Then use zip keys and values together. Play typecasted to dictionary. What? It is it. What? No. That's too confusing. Okay. Understanding so far. Can you fix it, please? Okay. From keys. Fruit. Fruit dictionary. Oh no. Oh no. No, it's just not gonna really dictionary comprehension. Maybe this will work. So no, not to convert two Python lists into dictionary. No, no, none of this is gonna help me. Stack Overflow. Help the Stack Overflow. Hello world 1 2. Hello equals world. Okay, dictionary zip. What is this? Oh my god. I don't know what is here. Another option. Dictionary. Dictionary comprehension. No. Okay, this is equivalent to going like this. So you go for index item in enumerate A. If index modulo 2 is equal to 0, my dictionary item is equal to A. Index plus 1. Oof. Hurts my brain. That hurts my brain. Here we go, it's a list. And then you just go dictionary list. And then it does that to the dictionary. Let's simplify this. So currently, list is a list. So we can iterate through the list, which is what I'm doing here. And what this is like a sorting algorithm. This is like a search algorithm. Oh man, this is difficult. I think I had a good idea, but my good idea is gonna run into a problem because this is actually a challenging thing to solve. This is gonna require some. Holy moly! This is probably like a standard computer science problem that people solve, like generally, like as a practice thing. So how would I phrase this? I need Python extract unique values from list. That was simple. That was simple. Here we go. 10, 20, 10, 30, 40, 40. Okay. And we want this. Yeah, this is what we want. This is what we want. Traversal of list. Unique list. Traverse. Oh, yeah. I did this recently. Not in. If something's in something, then that's a test. I could probably just copy this code. This is a good idea. Boom. Boom, ba-dum, bum, bum. Boom, ba-dum, bum, bum. Okay, we've got a unique list. We've got a unique list. And traversing all the elements. My sound is good. But Dia was saying that my sound is not so good. Voice quality. Is that better? If my voice is actually better? Sound quality or voice quality? Maybe I'm not projecting my voice enough. I need a higher pitched voice. Is it better if I speak like this? Okay, let's see. Okay, so you have a unique list, and then what you do is you go for entry in lists. Alright. We are checking if exists in unique list or not. Okay, so that means if entry is not in the list, Yes, if the first word is not in the list, which obviously it would be, okay, but if it's not, um, if it's not, the first one will be. Did I copy this from unique list or list? Unique list. Yeah. So if it is not in our unique list, which is currently nothing already, then what we need to do is we go unique list dot append that entry and boom and print the list. And what we're going to do is just copy this again and print this again, but this time we say each unique entry. I think that's all the boys. Let's see. Okay. A and then B and then A again and then C and then A again and then D and then B. Okay. So those are dupes. Submit. It's going to throw an error because the app is not running in the background every time there's so what's happening is this thing is auto-saving. Auto-save. So every time auto-saves, it's going to throw an error, which means the app's going to stop working. And then maybe I should turn auto-save off. Okay. Alright, let's try it again. Freaking break. Okay, submit. Let's see. Alright. So, what have we got? We've got A, B, A, C, A, E, B, B, B. And then that gets converted to A, B, those are not unique. Okay, so logic error in my code. What is the error? If entry is not in the unique list, we append the entry. If entry is in the unique list, then you just cycle to the next entry. Unique list is start of 0. Start of 0. So there's no way that makes sense. How does this make sense? Oh, because I'm not cycling through the unique list. Boom. Simple errors. Simple errors. Easy to fix. Love it. Love it. A, B, C, E. Booyah! Okay. Okay. Logic prevails. Logic prevails. We are making progress. We are making progress. I've been recording for an hour and a half already. Let's do 3 hours. Make progress till the problem is solved. Alright. Okay. Next step is got a unique list. Alright. Got a unique list. You have to apply a number to each of the unique list, which is easy because all we do is we just take the index of the thing in the list, that is the number. It's problem solved. Next thing is we need to create a duplicate of the first list and replace each word with the index number plus 1 maybe from the unique list. Okay, good. Good, let's do that. Okay, so for basically this thing again. You can maybe do this in one, but anyway, let's just go like this. Okay, for entry in the list. What we're going to do is say if maybe we should do numbers. Numbers. Oh, okay, so the word in thing. That's fine, it's fine, it's fine, it's fine. But we didn't create a new list, so random text data list. Indexes is equal to none. Okay, good. So that's there. What's wrong with nothing? That's not used yet. That's fine. We'll be used soon. So there we go. If the word is equal to this is a double list. Then we go for unique entry in unique list. Okay, this is a nested for loop. So for each word, you check each unique word, and then if it's equal, you give it the index of that unique word. Okay, that might work. So we go if entry equals unique entry, you have to make unique look like this. So if it's exactly like that, then we also need to do this. Sorry guys. Go page up, page down, page up, page down. Yep. Okay. If entry is equal to unique entry, then number. List index of. So we go this thing. Do maybe replace. So make this the same. Oh. Maybe there's an easy way to do this. Make this the same as this. So we make our keys the same as the words. And maybe there's an easy way to replace. Python replace word in list of strings. A, B, C strings. See, using big brains, not just endless for loops. I wrote a very simple computer game when I was, I don't know, 16 or 17. Literally in Java, literally the entire game was for loops, nested for loops. Just an entire game with nested for loops. You can do anything with nested for loops. Doesn't mean you should. Alright. How to replace a string in a list. String dot replace. Oh, there we go. Simple. string, new string. Replace this with that. Oh, no, that's not. Actually, no, that's not what we want, because this is replacing parts of things. Mm. 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 We need to search for all the entries in the list that are an exact match and replace all of those. Rather than just replacing the strings. May, June, July, May, June, join. If I in month set, else I for I in I. Mm. Mm. Too complicated. Mm. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. No, this is not what we want either. This is that same issue they replace. Mm. Maybe there is no simple solution. Maybe there is no simple solution. Geek for geeks. Geeks. Replace geeks with geeks. Yeah. Okay. I mean, there's no simple solution, so let's stick to our in this for loops here. Okay. So now because it's the same, we can actually just go through this list and we say where for each entry in this list, if that entry is the same as an entry in the unique list, okay, then oh jeez, wait, hold on, what the hell am I doing here? Oh, no. Oh gosh, you need to create a new list and just append each thing one at a time. Yeah. You append each thing one at a time. So you go this thing, append the unique entries index. So I think you go this index. Is that right? Python index of pattern list. Index elements start searching. dot, is it, how do you work this? Dot index. Dot index. Yeah. Dot index. Dot index of, why does it not make it a fancy color? Dot index. I suppose all dots don't turn into fancy colors. Dot index of the entry, of the unique entry. Plus one. There. So you append index. You append the index. You append the index plus one. Why? Because otherwise this thing started at 0. 0 plus 1. This is telling me this is wrong. Too long. Okay, happy now? Go, save. Save. Oh, this doesn't help me because I'm not printing the stuff out. We need to now print what that thing looks like, which is list into indexes, and that will be this. Okay, let's go. Oh my word, I think it worked. Oh my word. Oh my word. It freaking worked. It freaking worked. It worked. It worked. It actually literally worked. So now we can just go like this. Stick that in there. Oh my god. Save. And now it's gonna create a bar graph. It's gonna create a bar graph. It's gonna literally have an error. It's a bit too promising. It was a bit too hopeful there. What is the error? Invalid file path buffer because this was string.io. I need to make it a string. Maybe if it's not a string, I don't need to read it as a CSV. Maybe if it's not a string, I don't need to read it as a CSV anymore. I can just stick the numbers straight into the data frame. However, let's stick with our initial thing here because I'm going to work in letters and numbers interchangeably, like make it like a super robust program. So therefore I'm going to want to keep this like functionality that I figured out last time. It took me hours to figure out that this is a way to do it. Now oh, this game fancy. This game fancy. Fancy guys. We like high level programmers now. How legit is this? What's a legit? Oh, wait, this is the same error I had last time. because it's a list, not a string. I guess. It's the same. Must be string or none. Yeah, so it's to be string. String. Bing. Bang. Boop. Restart the app. Oh, what happened now? Save. Restart the app. Refresh the page. Submit. Paragraph. Oh, because it's a list. And I'm trying to now make the list string, which obviously isn't going to work because it's literally saying one thing in here. If it's a list, if it's automatically a list, maybe that's the answer. Maybe I don't need numbers. I just need to measure uniqueness. I thought about this. If you just measure uniqueness of each element, maybe that's a better test of randomness. I'm just saying how unique is each value. I think that's one test of randomness, because that would imply, because what if what you're testing is a unique distribution of numbers? So when I see how random is the distribution of numbers visually instead of the uniqueness, so that won't help in that case. This is one type of test to run though. However, it's like what tests are we running? So bar graph test here. We just want to measure if it's words or numbers or mixed. Actually, we need to decide. We need to decide what we're testing. We have to decide what we're testing, because otherwise, if it's just numbers, it's not going to be useful. So this is obviously not going to work. You can't just string a list. But we're not trying to string a list. We're trying to string a list. We're trying to read a CSV with tabs. Why did we even make it a list? To be honest, it doesn't need to be a list, because we're reading it into CSV. Actually, I can do this. And then that is just that is actually just this plus this is tab. Is this tab? It's tab. That's tab. That's tab. How do you add a tab? Backslash T. Sorry, excuse me. Add a tab in between them. we don't need to string that theoretically, which is going to string that theoretically. IO, read IO as a CSV. Maybe this will work. Let's go. Oh man, okay. Why is it K? Okay. Yeah, that one. That syntax. Yeah. This plus equals. How do you string, right? String plus string. Just plus a string. Python plus. One day I'll get my English keyboard, don't worry. Python plus equals plus. Oi, 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 oi. Is that on the same key? Plus and equals. Okay. Python plus equals concat. How do you concat? Concatenation. Is it bad practice? It's reasonable to assume that it isn't bad practice for this example because the author doesn't give any reason. Python documentation doesn't mention it's bad practice. Foo plus equals foo is just as readable according to me and is approximately 100 times faster than foo.join blah blah blah. When should one be used over the other? The disadvantages of needing to create a new string and allocate new memory for every concatenation. Okay. Whatever. In most cases, it makes more sense to use string.join, but there are times when concatenation is just as viable. Using any form of string concatenation for huge or many strings would be bad practice, just as using string.join would be bad practice for short and a few strings, in my opinion. So, why is my thing not working? Foo plus equals foo. Foo plus equals. What's wrong with this? Invalid syntax. Maybe it needs to be on the same line. Is that the issue? Oh! Did it work? A, B, C, A, B, B, B. Hey, it worked. It worked! Guys, it worked! It freaking worked! Okay, that's awesome. How many viewers have we got here? We've had 9 viewers. 12 minutes of my many hours of streaming at this point, almost 2 hours of streaming. Okay, so this is cool, right? Because it's exactly what I wanted. Now the thing is, if you do it like this, though, enter goes into new line. See, now this is what I'm talking about. See how like it just goes up, it just escalates over time regardless of what the information is actually in there. Which is different to this. So this is also going to go up and just show you repeated values. So this blue is the same as 5 here. Somehow these should actually be the same color. No, they're not the same color. Why is this pink? Variable 8 value 5. Maybe 2, 3, 4, 5, 5. Orange and pink are the same. That's an optical illusion, right? Look at that. You guys see? Sorry. This orange and this pink, they're at the same height. It's an optical illusion. Anyway, so this is uniqueness. This is uniqueness. So let's make this bar graph unique. But actually what I want to do is be able to pull words and numbers. So we can use the same graph. We don't have to customize it to text-based graph and word-based graph. So you can have same graph reading text, same graph reading numbers. So if it's a word, you change. If it's text, if it's a string, you change it to the index. If it's an integer, or if it's a number, if it's not, yeah, if it's a number, you keep it like what it is on here. Is that going to work? So then you can literally just throw whatever you want in there. You can throw words, numbers, letters, throw whatever you want. The only issue is that, like, let's say you throw a sentence that happens to have some numbers in it, then the numbers are going to be like way up high, and like everything else is going to be down here. So I don't think, yeah, that might not be so smart. That might not be so smart. Okay, let's keep them separate. Let's keep them separate. That's good practice. I like that idea. So what we're going to do is we're going to create separate stuff here. So this is create bar graph. Okay, and then we're going to create a new one here. I'm going to call this create unique. Okay, it's going to be unique. This is unique bar graph. This just measures uniqueness. So if you're going to throw text into the thing that you're supposed to measure numbers, going to ignore the text. This one's is going to work on uniqueness, whether it's text or not text. Okay, good. All right, cool. So that's going to be what this measure does. The original one, we can take out all of that things that we did now. And we're just going to stick with how it originally worked, which is basically like this. Let me stick this in here. Okay. Cool. Random text data. That should work. Save. And then we want to stick that thing where we're creating the app here. and we say, so we've got a bar graph. We're going to say we're going to make a unique bar graph. Unique bar graph is equal to create unique bar graph with the random text in there, coming in from the website that goes in there. And we want to throw that thing forward to Flask. So like so. I don't know where the equals key is, that's awesome. I'm going to throw it in like so. This is basically the JSON. So this is returning the JSON of that bar graph we just created. The JSON is going to feed into this variable over here. This variable is what Flask will read into the templates over here. So you'll see here, this is the HTML. So what you're doing is this now is unique bar graph. Unique bar graph. Making a, this is the log on the website side. And here's the variables. So you see these double curly brackets. That's how Flask works. And Flask is going to, flipping hell, got too excited. So Flask is now going to choose. Did I get something by mistake? Yeah. Flask is now going to stick that variable in here. And then Plotly is going to replace this div with a graph. I'm going to call it unique bar graph. And it's going to be displayed in the div as unique. Save that. It's already running. I'll find the shortcut key to do this. Okay. Hold your breath, guys. There's going to be 3 plots going up here. One of uniqueness, one of the actual numbers, one of scatter plot. Booyah! Guys, I love programming. I love programming. Do you know how awesome this is? I've just created something like that I wanted to create. It's like this is the end result of generating all this code. Typing a bunch of stuff in here has allowed me to take an idea in my brain, encode it into this thing, and express my ideas. And my ideas are now forever able to be expressed on this website. And literally anyone in the world with an internet connection can log into this website and use my idea. Do you understand why computers and technology is the future? Do you understand why you can get excited about this stuff? What if this thing made money? What if you had an idea that generated $1 value for somebody that used this thing? And everyone wanted to use it. Money. Like instant money. And what's beautiful about this is like, I'm not a freaking coder. You can see I don't know what I'm doing. I'm just figuring this stuff out. It's like Google, and it's like, can I tell you how much time it took me to figure out what the hell this thing is? Like, I still don't understand what this is. I just figured it out. It's like somebody said, I went to dude, and I was like a high-level programmer dude. I met him, and I was like, dude, I want to program. He's like, okay, Python, go into Google Cloud, type an app, use Flask, you do a little picture, Google Cloud, Flask, Python, website. Literally, those 4 things is the key for me to like spend hours figuring out what Cloud Shell is, like getting an idea of Python, and then typing it out. And just with that effort, I've created something. It's like creating a business, but just you don't have people, you have applications. So instead of starting like a small shop where I have like a shopkeeper and I'm buying inventory, and then like I'm training a dude to like look after the till and like sell the products, what I'm doing is I'm creating a website, which is a shop. I'm buying the cloud resources, which is this thing. Okay, that's the inventory. It's like the stuff serving the website. And I'm not training the dude to sell the products. I'm building the application. This is your business. This is the digital storefront, and the value a shop would have been added is that you get an inventory, you make a small profit, you sell it. It's a convenience. People can come to your shop. They don't have to go to the 10 different farms to buy eggs, milk, and cheese at like various places. They can get it all at your shop. They pay a little bit more, but there's a net value add because you make a profit and they don't have to spend their day walking around 10 kilometers of farms to get their daily produce, right? Website, okay? Instead of people like doing whatever, like not having a way to test the randomness of their number generators, okay? They just go to my site, so they don't have to create a program. They don't have to go through the effort of typing the stuff, figuring it out, like all this thinking I've already done here, okay? They don't have to do that. I've done it. Did it for them. They just go to my site. They're like, cool, boom. How random is my stuff? Okay, they can test it right here. Yeah, that's how random it is. Okay, done. Now, say for example, I'm like, this is adding a lot of value to a lot of people, and it's super useful. It's for free. But then I go like, okay, cool. You can see how useful it is. This is the site. This is the resources. Pay like a little bit extra. You get like additional functionality. Maybe there's 10 bar graphs initially. Then you're like an advanced user. You charge a premium service, and you get like 100 other types of graphs additional. That's like $10 a month, right? If you found a niche, you can make money. That's technology. That's like computers. That's why I love this stuff. That's like, this is awesome. Okay, now I want to try something interesting. So there's this. You watched my last video. I was talking about my website. I mean, my new keyboard layout. I've got a unique layout in my thing. I can show you here quickly. No, okay, it's on my other screen. But basically, I don't use QWERTY. I use a thing called Swap6, which is my own invention. But anyway, there's this keyboard layout analyzer. Keyboard layout analyzer. It's pretty cool. So if you watch my last video, you'll see how this thing works. But anyway, I'm just going to this because there's text here I want to play with. So this is the first chapter of Alice in Wonderland. And let's see what this looks like randomized. Obviously, failure because there's no tabs here. Okay. So what I want to do is I want to add a thing here that creates a separator. So let's see if I can do this in about an hour. Then I've done 3 hours. Then I've done a 3-hour stint. So I want to create. What is my next thing here? This is done. Good enough. A separator. So a separator is going to be. See this text here. I want to analyze the randomness distribution of the words in this book. Right. But each word is separated by a space. Or sometimes by what is that? That's like something else. But pretty much, you could say, every space is a separator. So I need an extra thing here to say what is going to be your choice of separator. But before I do that, I just want to test this out. So there's a way you can do that by Google Sheets. This is a quick way to do this. Okay, stick in the text here, and then you go split. How do you split text to columns based on space. Then just copy this. That work. Was it tabs, right? Whoa, that's a lot of text. That is a lot of text. That's a lot of text. That's gonna chow my resources here on the back end probably. Let's give it a moment to figure itself out. Yeah. That's a long paragraph. Okay, let's check it out. Come on, show me something pretty. Show me the power of Python. Power of Python and JavaScript. You can do it. Maybe I should start with a smaller amount of words instead of blowing up my computer. I mean, the internet. Instead of blowing up the servers, let's do this. Concept first. Let's see if the concept is working. Nope. Nope. Let's try again. No, it's not going to work. It's not AV. It's I'll show you guys this on CloudShell. So what you can do is here, change the ports. You can preview your app. So what this is doing is this is previewing your app using the Cloud Shell on like a local port, but it's on the internet actually. And then what you have to do is when you're happy with this thing, you save it, you deploy it to the actual app, which is the app engine here, and that becomes available at your URL, whatever your URL is. Okay, look at this. Is that right? I don't have an updated yet. Oh, look at this. This is cool. Now you can start analyzing this. Now you can be like, oh. Now you can start analyzing this. Now you can see here. You can see Alice in Wonderland. It's a pretty random story, but the words are not that random. That's deep. Big brain stuff. Yeah, pizza. Can you guys see that? You see how pretty this is? This is awesome. This is awesome. Look at that. It's beautiful. This is data science. This is all no. This is data analysis. Take data, analyze it, draw pictures with your code. Okay, let's expand this baby. Let's see how this looks when you increase the sample size. Let's go. And it's just the start of each sentence because my code only takes the column width of the first set of columns. Oh, but it's this. These blanks. Should do this. Look better. Oh, this is getting quite heavy now. I don't think this code is the most efficient, to be honest. This is an inefficient, code. There's like for loops, and in fact, I can, yeah. Let me do this. For the unique graph, I don't need to convert this to string IO. So let's worry about that. I do need to split. It doesn't help to print that out. So let's take that out. Also, we don't need to see this extra loops. We don't need creating unique lists. We need printing that out. We don't need that's all fine. App logger. That's fine. Okay. Hopefully that made it a bit more efficient. Look at this, guys. Look at this. Look at this. How cool is this? How cool is that? That's pretty cool. What this means is, by the end, there's less and less words that are in different sentence. But there'll probably always be, for each line, but there'll probably always be at least one unique word in each sentence. Probably. I reckon. Oh, just the whole thing here. Let's just do the whole thing. No, it's going to be a bit. Oh. Let's see if my more efficient code actually worked. Let's try. Oh, efficiency. We are. Oh no. Oh, it's still loading. Memory usage. Oh, look at this numbers, like a matrix, guys. I'm like creating the matrix. Look at this. This is epic. It's so cool. Okay, separator. I want a separator. We need a separator now. Maybe. Let's first do some more testing here. Okay. Come on. Alice in Wonderland. Let's go down the rabbit hole. Rabbit hole of data science. Oh, this thing is not very powerful. This thing is not very powerful. Let's take back my. It's using Chrome data. Oh yeah, GPU. What it's doing. Okay, never mind that. Let's go here. Let's just do that again. Completely broke Google's database or something. What's going on? Okay, let's use these random numbers, see what that looks like. This is awesome. Green tea and honey. Green tea. I'm going to sleep tonight then, probably. Anyway, okay, while this is loading, I'll give that an opportunity. Let's start working on the separator. Let's see if we can do that in 43 minutes. So, concept of the separator is you select the thing you want to split up into, and then in the code we're going to split based on your input. And if there's no input given, it's going to tab it. If there is input given, that's going to be the splitter. So it's actually pretty simple. It just means we need to take in two variables from the website. So first thing first, let's create the HTML for that. So HTML, okay, it's going to be base HTML because I think the form is here. Form. Okay, form. Text area. So let's do this. Text area is. Whoa, this thing's been working out the Alice in Wonderland stuff. Damn. Oops. Oh, that's probably why it's taking so slow. Okay. All right. We don't want a text area. We want HTML form drop down list. Maybe drop down list is better. Drop down list is better. Control this thing a little bit. What is this? What's the default ones that Google likes? Okay, they like comma, semicolon, period, space. Tab is not in there, but that's okay. Custom. Drop down list. Do I really want a drop down list? I really want a drop down list. No. just whatever somebody puts down as the thing. Okay, form elements. So we've got input element. Input element can be displayed in zero. Input. Select label, drop down list. Let's do buttons. That's UX for you, buttons. Okay, keep it simple. Gonna keep, wow, pretty guys. Oh, look at this. It's finished loading. That's pretty random to me. See, so the thing with this is once you get to like a larger size, that might actually be a test of randomness as well. The fact that it's increasing at a certain like distribution, and like within here, it's also pretty random. You know, like if this wasn't so random, then this shape wouldn't look like that. It wouldn't look so like perfectly escalating at like a steady rate. And you can probably test that by going like this. Look at this. So if there's a pattern to your data, right? If there's a pattern to your data, it's not going to look like this nice, smoothly escalating thing. It's going to be something else. Look, see here. See, this still looks random because it's difficult to perceive the patterns here, but there are patterns in this. Whereas this, you can pick up those patterns instantly. I like this. Cool. Okay. Anyway, so we're gonna do buttons. Buttons. Can we test the button? Test the button. No. I want buttons. I want radios. Radio. No, radio. Selections. Is it a button? What is it? Data list? Whoa. What's new? Opt group? And yeah. Okay. So you go input type radio. Let's put that in our HTML. So it's going to be visual test. Here's that. That's the okay. And then how do I do it? Label. So input type radio, ID male, gender, male, label for male. Select a separator for columns. Video button ID is what are the main ones? Google says we have comma, pretty comma separated. Two commas, comma. Name is comma. Value is comma. Label for comma is comma. Next one is Google says semicolon. Semicolon. Oh no, this is this. This value is semicolon. Is that a semicolon? Colon, semicolon, yeah. And this is semicolon. Next we have colon value. Period. What time we got? 30 minutes. Period. Full stop. And we're gonna make this period. Full stop. Save. And let's see, does that update this if we refresh? We are creating a random number generator visualizer. So you input your data, it visualizes it for you, testing the quality of the chaotic information that you have generated. Right now we're trying to build a separator chooser, so you can choose how you want to separate your columns in your data. So that's what we're busy with right now. And we want to have separators that are what Google's asking for. So we've got the comma, semicolon, period, and space. But first, default, do this. I'm going to say leave. No. Actually, tab should be default. What do you default? Selected. Default selected. Checked. Okay, so the first one is going to be checked. Checked is going to be tab. Is tab something that gets passed? I don't know. No, I don't think it does. I think you have to do this. Tab. default. It's default. That's checked. Good. What did you say was the last one? Space. Okay. Space is space in space. Like this. Space. Right. We've got a tab, we've got a space, we've got a comma, we've got a semicolon, we've got a period, we've got a space. That's enough options. I think people can work with that. The value here would be space, full stop, semicolon, comma, tab. Save that, refresh. Come on, buddy. Let's go. There you go. Oh, this does not look so user-friendly. Let's stick with that spacing here. How do we do this? Like that. Select a separator of columns. Yeah. Do double break there. Okay. Should we make this an H2? Make this an H2. This is called user experience, UI, user interface. How do you make something appealing and easy for people to comprehend and use? So this is select a separator for columns, and this is enter random numbers text. Okay. And now it's saying here place your random place your data in the text area. Place your data in the text area. We're going to do just informational. We are limiting it to 10,000 characters just for simplicity. New lines in the text area. Create new lines. Enter. Or how do you break new line in? Okay. New lines in. That's gonna work. Let's just see. The text area creates a new row in the data frame, and I'll ignore if it contains more columns in the first row. Save. Refresh. How does that look now? How are we looking? Select a separator. Cool. Boom. Bang. Ding. Boom. Next, we need to have the separator that we want to paste our data in to work on the back end in Python. So if we go to Cloud Shell, we go to our Python application here, and we have to take in two variables now, being the data as well as the separator. So in order to do that, submit needs to submit these things. So is that what's happening? Is the submit going to submit everything? Well, it's in the same form. So I submit to you that it will. Okay, let's try that. So go back to here, go back to our Python, which will use Flask to get the input from the website, from the HTML back into our Python application here, and it does that by doing this request form.get text area. That's saving it as this. So maybe if we do this and we change text area to the separator that we want, which is going to be separator. Because this thing's ID, oh no, the ID, what's the ID? Take name, no, name probably. So let's take the name, put that in here. Now, separator is going to be the data coming in from the separator, the value coming in from separator. And we want to send separator to our function that is going to use that separator to split the text. Okay, so let's try that. So now we've got a function that does this. Why does this thing have one space? Okay. Now, so let's get our function. The function creates a unique bar graph, and it's going to take in random text. These are called the parameters. Separator. The parameters are going to be random text and separator. And separator we're going to use here. Here. We use separator here. Why is that not? Can I spell? Okay. Theoretically, this should work. Theoretically, this should work. Let's try. Let's try. Let's try. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Okay. Here's our thing. Separator must be tab. Submit. And fail. Oh, actually, yeah. So it still works in the ones we haven't updated. This one's failed. This one's. Let's try comma. And then split these things with commas. Comma. Okay. So we've chosen comma. Submit. Oh my word, it worked. Oh my golly gosh, it worked. Let's try full stop. Wow. It like worked the first time. Oh my god, I'm so happy. Like, how often does your code work the first time? Like, maybe 0.1% of the time? Holy moly, it works. That's awesome. That's awesome. That's so cool. Okay, so let's do that for all of our functions now, all of our graphs. So we're going to put that in this graph here too. And does this also have a split function? No, it doesn't. It doesn't have a split function because it's reading the CSV. So we have to create a split function. But we'll do that later. First, let's just get the separator functionality working. Okay, 20 minutes left, guys. 20 minutes to go to see if we can get this or additional functionality into our app here. Okay, so we've got the separators coming in. Now, the first graph measures uniqueness, and we've split the text based on a separator in order to get that into a list that then goes back to text. Okay, but now in the other graphs, we're not using text or string. We're not using string. We're just literally throwing the string into the string IO thing. I don't know what it is, but I think it's a file. I think it creates a file, and then then this thing reads the data in the file, and it splits it based on this. Boom! There we go. It should work now. Okay, same thing with this. Plotly. So basically, one of the arguments for Plotly is the separator. So if we're just feeding the separator as the separator, then it'll separate our data separately based on our separate numbers. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Separator is not defined because I'm not spelling it correctly. Every time I type this, the separator. Every time I type this, it's been freaking different. Separator. 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 Save. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. This makes me so happy. So happy. Oh. Index column. Okay, oh my god, guys, this is like miraculous. That you have this idea, code it in, and it works. Okay, space works. Full stop, we already tested. Get off the table, you naughty cat. Sorry. Okay. Full stop. We have to select full stop. Works. Semicolon. Semicolon. Select semicolon. Good. Semicolon works. Comma. Works. And tab. Does not work here. Does not work here. Tab. Tab does not work. Why-oh? Interesting. Blank lines. Expected 2 blank lines and got 1 blank line. Expected 2 blank lines, found 1. Oh, at the end of the thing. Yeah, oh, at the front of it. Oh. Cool. Okay, so separators used here to split it based on the separation, but it's using \t. It's using \t. Which is maybe the problem. Maybe what we need to do is just actually do that. Save. So let's. Ha! Ha ha! Damn! Damn! Damn, it worked. It did not work. No. Surely this is correct. This is correct. It's just that this thing, the Python is not reading. Python is not reading \t. Maybe I need to string that. Try again. Okay, what is the problem here? We upload this thing. See what the problem is. So using separator, where the separator is. Let's see what that is using now. So we check the logs. I see that it is regex separators. Oh, that's the problem. That is the problem. Clearly. Create a ball graph. Okay, so the tabs are working. But now here, it's saying parser warning, falling back to Python engine because the C engine what? Does not support regex separators. Separators greater than one char and different from space are interpreted as regex. You can avoid this warning by specifying engine Python. Okay. Sure. I don't know what that. I don't know what that means. I don't know what that means. That is not making logic to me. Here's separator. Oh, this is actually working. Oh, this is actually working. Here's where it's not working because the separator is \tab. And it's reading it as one entry now. When I made the separator, this works. So we're not explicitly say, and but it should be splitting it, right? It should be splitting it. Surely it's splitting it. Maybe not. Look at this, length is 1. String of the separator, and then split based on that. I think you need to wrap this in inverted commas. Probably. No, really? Is that necessary? You wrap this in commas. That would be so dumb. Because it's a string. Why would you? Why? Python split tab. Oh yeah, A B C tab as variable in the file. It works fine as long as there's only one tab between each value, but wait, it's just confusing. It's like advanced stuff this here. Split with a variable. Python split with a variable. I'm gonna put the variable in the split function here, separator. See, exactly like this. The separator parameter tells Python where to break. You don't in fact always need to use it. If no delimiter, so Python will use any white space in the string of the separator. Yeah, that's white space. Split with dots. Split. Python split only works on string variables. If you encounter problems with split, it may be because you're trying to call it on a non-string object. If this happens, you can force Python to treat the variable as a string with string x. Yeah, that's kind of what I did. No. That's what I did. I did do that. I did that. What happens if I take this out? So if it's not a string, what does it do? If it's not a string, what it does is that it still prints as a string, because it is still technically a string, but it doesn't split it. It doesn't split it. I literally have to do this. This would be so crazy if this is actually what I have to do. I don't know if this works. I actually have to put the string as a string in inverted commas. Did it work? No. What does this look like actually? Do this. What does that look like? That looks like this. Exactly. That's what it was. It was this. That's what this is. That's what it was. Like, why now is it not doing that? So it's working for everything except. Okay, so clearly these things are not helping. How much time we got left? 4 minutes. Okay. That's working. It's this tab thing that is not jamming with us now. And I half thought that was going to be a problem because everything else is like the actual thing, right? This thing is not the actual thing. Pass, Python, pass, tab into dot split. Escape a character when X is T, pressing pass, literally. Wait, split the string by tabs. Okay, that's one thing I'm going to look at. That's another thing I'm going to look at. Probably regex. Regex is like some advanced stuff that allows you to do all this kind of thing. That's probably what I'm going to have to look at. Alright, so I'm going to keep working on that. Basically, I think we're at a good spot now. So let me just show you guys what to do once you've done this and how do you exit this thing, okay? So the last thing you need to do after you've finished working your program for the day is to go get add name dot py. Why is it not showing properly? Sorry guys, give me 1 second. I'm going to show you what to do here. Okay, so we want to add that to a staging area, and then you go get status, and you can see that those are the 2 things that changed. And then you go get commit, commits your git. You can say added separator and uniqueness, a unique bar graph. Okay, and we're gonna just write out, save, exit. Okay, that commits it. So 1 file change, but 92. Zoom in for you guys, see what's working at the moment now. Okay, cool. And then you go get. How do you post it? You basically post that to your Git, and then that's updated now. So any of you guys, you want to go in here, you want to play around with it, you want to fix it, you want to create a fork, go to the Git, go to my GitHub. Here's the quality of random visualizer. and help me work on this thing. It's going to be very effective because your quality of random has a lot of internet applications, like, for example, security, testing data, like just the concept of chaotic entropy is like quite a profound concept, and I'm trying to visualize that. So yeah, help me work on this. Thanks so much, guys. Hope this was somewhat educational for you, and bye for now.